Welcome to Dateline SAU, your source for the latest news and sports from St. Ambrose University. I'm Terry Koob.
And I'm Ryan Sandness. After a year of fundraising efforts, St. Ambrose University's largest student-run organization, Dance Marathon, held its final event of the year. Dateline SAU's Lindsay Voss has the story.
St. Ambrose students were still able to gather today, despite the pandemic, to still raise money for the kids of the Iowa Stead Family Children's Hospital.
The day was full of events like Zumba, open gym, and of course, Power Hour dancing.
Just seeing these kids, seeing them grow up from when I saw them last is just amazing, and to know that I'm doing it all for them and for those who are dancing in our hearts and for just fighting for an end to pediatric illness is just so touching, and I think that truly comes to life when you talk to the families, when you talk to the kiddos.
Dance Marathon is something that will absolutely change your life. It's made me a whole different person. It's got a whole new perspective on life. Very grateful for what I grew up with and what I have now, and I think everybody should experience Dance Marathon at least once in their life, because I promise you it is a life-changing thing.
At the end of the night, DM announced they raised over $191,000. These funds will go towards a wheelchair-accessible playground at Iowa Children's Hospital and to the families who need it most. Lindsay Voss, Dateline SAU.
Green Life is a St. Ambrose club dedicated to spreading awareness about environmental issues. Dateline SAU's Kyel Alexander shows us how the group celebrated Earth Day with a special event.
It was an event they called Waste Sort.
Oh, that's so infuriating.
Set up on the lawn outside the WRC to educate the campus community about recycling and waste reduction.
The main idea behind this waste sort is we want to bring attention to what we're throwing away and what we could recycle instead of throwing away. And then also we want to get a lot of data and then use that data when we want to implement new policies.
We've had students from across campus involved in this. So we had an honors class that helped chalk campus to raise awareness just about Earth Day in general, because today's Earth Day. And we had business students who helped promote the event. So they developed a flyer. They created a game to play to attract students. And we have then Green Life students from across campus who right now are sorting waste into the various categories.
Several Green Life members wanted to make sure that not only were they informing students, but getting them involved with games and activities as well.
We decided to create a game to attract people here. So it's a 3-can toss game, and if you win, you enter your name in a raffle to win BuzzBucks and gift cards. So we thought that'd be a good way. And in order to play the game, you have to sign the sustainability pledge. So we thought it was a good way to get students involved.
Last year, Green Life didn't get a chance to host an event due to COVID, and we're eager to finally get a chance to interact with students and the campus.
This is a great event with sunshine and music, and you're right, people are enjoying themselves and having a nice time and hopefully learning a little bit too.
Green Life is actively looking for more members to join. You can contact them at bgreen@sau.edu. Kyel Alexander, Dateline SAU.
Earlier in the week, St. Ambrose students helped neighbors surrounding the university clean up their yards for Be the Difference Day. The event is sponsored by the Student Government Association.
We work with the Student Activities Office in just reaching out to as many people as we can in the community, and then year by year, the head of our Government Operations Committee continues on reaching out via phone and email to several of those families that have participated in the past years.
Way to rock and roll!
I think that Be the Difference Day is a great opportunity for college students to get out and help the community, and I think it just tells people that St. Ambrose has a bunch of great students here and that are always willing to help whenever they can. So yeah, we're really excited to be here today.
What this does to make the world a better place, which is a part of St. Ambrose's mission statement, is that it helps us learn about our surrounding communities, and it helps us make a small difference in the world, which will help us when we graduate college. We not only think of our own careers, but we think about the surrounding communities around us as we learn to grow.
St. Ambrose Student Government has organized Be the Difference Day for more than a decade. The event traditionally happens in November. This year it took place in the spring due to COVID-19.
Ambrosians have elected their new student government leaders for the 2021 and 2022 school year. Caitlin Enright is the next student body president. Her running mate, Laura Malloy, will serve as vice president. Both will be seniors in the fall.
The Galvin Fine Arts Center is getting an elevator. Several offices and spaces will need to make room for the installation, including part of SAU's radio station, KALA.
We're kind of looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of work to prep for it. So we've got to move a lot of equipment, a lot of music stored in our music library, awards, and basically the contents of an entire room. There's a lot of things to move. It's just an exciting change in the building. It's been a long time coming.
Work begins on the project after May graduation.
The Office of Student Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion is celebrating Asian Pacific Islander Heritage Month with a traveling exhibit. Although celebrated in May, the exhibit aims to reflect on significant individuals and festivals in the last 2 weeks of April and the first 2 weeks of May before St. Ambrose students leave for summer break. Some SAU students find cultural exhibits like these to be beneficial for the campus community.
I think the diverse culture in St. Ambrose is really good, because I do meet people around the world and from South Asian, there's a bunch of people from South Asia and from Europe, and I just love the culture here. There's all kind of mixed through here. For a small university, it's really nice.
The exhibit was on display in the Rogalski Center this past week. Next week, it moves to the Health Sciences Building. It will then move to the Beehive and the library for the final 2 weeks of the semester.
There are clubs on campus designed for students' personal interests. Dateline SAU's Chase Calderwood tells us about one program often overlooked, Baja, St. Ambrose University's motorsports group.
There are many students on campus in love with auto mechanics. The Baja Club allows students to escape the classroom and spend time in the garage.
SAE Baja is this really cool competition. It's a collegiate competition where students build these off-road vehicles. They go and race every year. They put the car through its paces, through endurance events. They'll test suspension, speed, things like that. They kind of figure out who had the best engineered design.
Many Baja members are current engineering students here at Ambrose. This club not only provides an opportunity to bond with others, but can also serve as an outlet for future job exposure.
I think Baja is just a great opportunity in general to really learn some practical hands-on skills, to network with other engineers, and to actually work on something with the engineering process. If you want to get into one of those really cool cutting-edge companies, you want to get into something like SAE Baja so that you can have an edge on your competition here at school.
Over the years, kids have heard about Bajas in many different ways. Its members have had great experiences and are proud to call the garage their go-to spot off campus.
Baja really means a lot of cool, fun, hands-on experiences. It gives you an opportunity to get out of the classroom and just kind of enjoy motorsports and enjoy working on cars.
Chase Calderwood, Dateline SAU.
Coming up after a short break, the St. Ambrose men's and women's bowling teams compete in the sectional qualifier with hopes of advancing to nationals.
And the men's lacrosse team boasts a high national ranking into the postseason as they begin conference tournament action.
Lindsay Voss has these stories, highlights, and more coming up after the break.
On Dateline SAU.
We're more than a radio station. We're your neighbors, investing time in our community. We're mentors, guiding the next generation of broadcasters. We're supporters of veterans, partners with social service agencies, and investigators of history. We're dedicated sports fans. We're committed to the stories that make the Quad Cities unique. We are KALA Radio, 88.5 FM, 106.1 FM. Turn it on, turn it up.
I knew that I wanted to go to a smaller school that was still located in the Midwest, and I remember when I toured here, I felt, compared to other schools, I felt like I was touring the place that I could picture myself next year. I could see myself studying in this library and taking these science courses. Something that really stood out to me when I toured St. Ambrose was that a faculty member that I talked to earlier in the day, when I passed them hours later, they greeted me with my first name. And I knew that this really was, I felt so welcomed here.
Being a music major at St. Ambrose University has allowed me the opportunity to get to know all of the professors on a personal level, and they all care about my own growth as a musician. It's really nice to be learning in an environment where I can maybe sometimes have conversations with the professors outside of class who obviously want to help me learn, and that is their main goal. And it's easy to get that interaction from them. The opportunities that you get to perform in and outside of class, there are many of them, and all of them are great ways to meet the right people that might help you get started in your piano career, life as a musician. And that's definitely something that's helped me, something that I've loved about being here. I would recommend it for other people for the same reasons.
It was a rough start for the St. Ambrose bowling program last weekend in the sectional qualifier in Dayton, Ohio. Halfway through the tournament, the SIU women were placed 5th, and the men were placed 7th, with only the top 4 teams advancing to the nationals. During the last day of competition, both teams were able to bowl their way into 4th place in their divisions, qualifying the St. Ambrose men and women for a chance at the 16-team national championships. The national tournament will be in Wyoming, Michigan, May 3rd through 8th. The St. Ambrose men's lacrosse team entered postseason play with an 11-2 record, ranked 4th in the country. On Saturday, they hosted Missouri Valley College in the first round of the KCAC tournament. Already up by a big margin, the Bees' Hayden Latham opens up with the second half with this goal to make the score 14-4. Just a minute later, it's Michael Chakrin with the second of his 4 goals on the day, as Bees extend their lead. Then in the 4th quarter, Cole Danner gets this 3rd goal of the game, and the Bees cruise to an opening round win. The St. Ambrose outshot its opponents 76-33, with 10 different Bees making the scoring column. Then on Thursday, Benedictine College took to the Bees in double overtime before Michael Chakrin scored his 4th goal of the contest, sending the Bees on to the KCAC title game. Chakrin was named first team all-conference and the co-offensive player of the year. The women's lacrosse team started the KCAC tournament with a dominating quarterfinal win over Midland on Saturday. Mackenzie Zions, Katie Baranski, and Morgan Curzon scored 4 goals each in the contest. But in the semifinal, even though the Bees outshot their opponent 39-25, St. Ambrose could not get past the Missouri Baptist Spartans. The women end a fine season with a 12-2 record. The women's golf team earned a runner-up finish at the 8-team Mount Mercy Mustang Invitational last weekend. Becky Meals was the top B performer with a 5th-place finish. The team will next head to Homewood, Illinois for the Chicagoland Collegiate Conference Tournament. The women's tennis team closed out its regular season on a roll. The Bees won their 3rd straight duel with a win at Roosevelt in Chicago on Sunday. The team will next open the CCAC tournament with the first round match on April 27th. And that's it for sports this week. I'm Lindsay Voss.
And that is all we have for you on this edition of Dateline SAU.
We'll be back next week with the latest news and sports from St. Ambrose University.
Remember to check out the SAU TV, Facebook, and Instagram pages for our newscasts, late-breaking news, and more.
You can also find news stories and videos on The Hive at sauthebuzz.com.
Thanks for watching.
We'll see you next week.